Hey everyone, Lauren here with Enlighten Together. Thank you for tuning in. I know for this month of May we've been covering the topic of Gardening 101, the basics of gardening and how we go about it. I know that we constantly talk about growing food, how we should be growing our own food and being on top of that, something that is really a part of our lives, what we eat and where we get it from. And so we've been covering this topic. It's been really exciting. And I have to admit that this is partially for motivation for me because I have no background in gardening. I've never gardened in my life. I grew up here in Southern California in a desert where it gets up to 110 degrees in the summer. Just have not experimented with it at all. But now I have been experimenting with it, and I'm really excited to say this. My grandma came over, she's been gardening for decades, and she has the most background in it in terms of my family and family members. So she came over, helped me set it up, and this was really a basic garden that I did, actually, just replanting some plants that we got from the store. I wasn't all too concerned about being incredibly eco-conscious or organic. I just said, you know what, I really want to at least experiment at first, and then from there just have the experience and go along with it. So I am going to show you the garden that I have going right now, and for those of you who are more experienced in this, you can give me some tips and advice, or maybe what you have going on. And those of you who haven't experimented at all with this, who aren't growing food, I really want this to be a motivation for you, a motivational factor to encourage you to at least investigate, become more knowledgeable of the topic, and look at what you have in your area, wherever you're living. If you're living in an apartment, there's vertical gardening methods. And so this is just a really fascinating topic, and it just all comes down to taking the time to learn about it when you have the free time to try to invest some time into it, and it can go a long way. Okay, so I'll show you what I have going here. Now I just replanted plants again, like I said, so didn't grow anything from the seeds, but these right here are tomato plants, and so we just put them directly in the ground. You can see they kind of have this biodegradable cup thing right here, and we put these baskets around them to help them grow. So they've been doing okay and pretty well. Just been watering them. And then here we have these bell pepper plants in the middle, and these have been really great ever since the beginning. And I think it's because the overall garden right here, it's pretty small. It has an incline on both sides, so the water trickles down to these middle plants. But these have always been very sturdy, standing up. Haven't had any problems with these particular plants. And then over here we have a zucchini plant, or it's actually zucchini squash. And so these are all lined up right here. I don't know how well you can see with the shade, but this has been really interesting as of recent, because ever since I planted this one and 3 others over here, they were always really weak, like kind of laying on the ground, and I honestly thought they were going to die. But my sister was here yesterday and she was like, well, maybe they're getting too much sun. So I said, okay, maybe that's the case. So we put these sawhorses right here with this door on it for some shade throughout the day. And I have to tell you that this plant that was standing on the ground yesterday just looked like it was going to die. It's standing up now. You can see it's standing up. And then there's one over here, the same exact thing happened. This one was so sad. It was just keeling over, had nothing going on, and now it's standing up. Very cool, because of this shade that we're providing, and since the sun's moving throughout the day, it has some sunlight. Same thing here. Now this one's the same exact plant. This one just has succeeded. It's obviously doing way better than the other ones. I don't really know why, but it is. And there are some bugs that have been eating the leaves here, so I guess that's one of the things I'm going to have to investigate, is how to prevent bugs from eating the leaves. And obviously I am looking into more natural methods of dealing with it. So it's pretty cool. And we recently learned about square foot gardening, so I'm hoping to intertwine that with my garden at some point. But yeah, this has been pretty cool, and I look forward to reporting on it in a few weeks, seeing how it goes. And again, I hope that you guys have the motivation to learn about growing your own food, gardening, and really participating in that aspect of your life, or our lives. I mean, it's so important. Thank you so much for tuning in. I forgot to add that I also have this compost bin that was given to us. Pretty cool. So we put all of our organic matter in here. I don't think you can see. Okay, you can kind of see it. Yeah, so we actually had this in a pit. It's where the garden was originally. We just were a little lazy and was putting the food and organic matter here in a pit, and so that really put a lot of nutrients in the soil here. But then we were given this compost bin, pretty cool, and transported everything in here. So just been using this to throw our banana peels and eggshells and things like that in here, and then putting some water. And in the future I plan to go more extensively over composting because I don't know too much about it.